Alright, today we are going to be looking at writing to files in Python. This is a follow-up to the previous lesson we had, which was reading from files in Python. So today it will be writing to files in Python, and I would like to tell you that this is really easy. I want to remind you to subscribe to my channel by clicking on the subscribe button below this video. In that way you encourage me to continue to making these lessons, and also you get updates when I make new lessons. So the first thing we want to do in writing the file is to open a file. So just say open and then specify the file name students. It's basically the same thing, simply that this time we are using a different mode and different set of functions. So the mode is going to be, this time is going to be write. So at this point we've opened the file and we need to assign the return value of this open function to a variable. So let's assign it to a variable called students data is equal to. So at this point, when this function open executes, it opens this file and assigns the content to students data. So what you may want to do always is a good practice to close the file after you've worked with it. So at the end of the line, just close it. So in between, you can play around with the file. So what I may like to do is to just read, let's just view what is inside by reading what is inside. And I'm going to just say print students data.read. So this is going to display the content of this file. Students data.read. Let's see. Unsupported file not readable. So I opened in write mode, as you can see. So if I open it in read mode, I'm going to see so object not callable. So I'm going to take all this. Okay. So I'm going to explain what is happening to you. So here I need to say students data.close. So here I have students data that students text, and I'm opening in read mode simply to view what is inside. And now basically I've erased what is inside this file by mistake. So let's go back to this file to check what is in there. So you can see there is nothing inside the file. It's unfortunate. So that's the problem with the write statement. If you use the write statement wrong, then you are going to erase everything. So let's continue. We want to say students the text. We are opening it this time. We are opening it to write. And what are we going to do? We are going to just write into it. So let's say students data.write, and then I'm going to write some item into it. So let's say Python. This is the name of my channel. So at this point, if I write something into this file by executing this line, then I'll have an item in this file. So let's say I'm going to run it, and then I'm going to open this file to check what is inside. So you can see we have one item has been written into this file. All right. So if I run again, let's say I run it a second time, it's going to also execute a second time, and it's going to write into this file a second time. So let's see. I'm going to check. So you can see it writes, but now you can see there is no new line in it. So that's the problem. So for me to write a second time, I would like to use a new line. So, but for me to do that, I'd like to also teach you along the line how to use a for loop. So let me write into this file 10 lines of 10 items using a for loop. So I can say for I in range 1 to 11. Remember, if you want to write 10 items, just specify 11 because the last item is not inclusive. So I'm just going to say students data, that's right. Use this. Ctrl V. So I'm going to specify a new line. I'm going to change this to Hungarian keyboard so that I'll be able to use the backslash. Alright, so I'm going to use a backslash here. Backslash is a backslash and a backslash. Right. So what's going to happen is that it's going to run and it's going to write these two items and it's going to write this into 10 times. So just for clarity, let me append the value for I here, stri. So stri simply, this is going to change back to English because I'm always switching from English to Hungarian keyboard. What's this? Alright, so stri. Alright. So it's going to write these two items and then it's going to write 10 more items into this line, into this file. So let me go ahead to run it. I'm getting an error. Let me see. Because I need one more opening closing braces here. So let's run it to see. So also it doesn't give no output, but if I go out to open this file to check what is in there, you can see that it actually have written several things. So you can see backslash because I failed to put n here. So let's put n. So it's actually backslash n, not just backslash. Backslash n adds a new line to the file. So before it writes what follows the backslash, it's actually going to add a new line. So I'm going to run again, and it's run successfully, and I'm going to check what is happening in there. I'm going to, you can see it wrote out everything. So before I go, let me just show you how to use a while loop to achieve the same thing. So to use a while loop to do the same thing, so you simply say I is equal to 1, and just I'm always trying to write like with Java syntax. While I is less than, while I is less than, while I is not equal to, is not equal to 11, right? And then I'm going to write, and then I'm going to increase I equal to I plus 1. So this is going to achieve the same thing like the for loop we just wrote. So I'm going to run it and let's see. So have syntax error because I need to put colon here, and I'm going to run the code again successfully, and I'm going to go back to check, and then I'm going to see that everything worked perfectly. So this is basically how to write to files. So you can use the append. So let's just quickly use append, and at this point I'm going to say append. So in this one, it's not going to delete whatever is there, right? So I'm using the append mode, which is A. So let's say append. So it's going to simply append it into the file. So I'm going to run it, and again it runs successfully, and I'm going to open the file to just show you that everything is working perfectly. You can see these ones were appended into the file. So I'm going to stop here, and I'd like to thank you for viewing and also remind you to subscribe and also leave a comment for me if this has been informative for you.